How are we all doing? I don't know why I got my headphones in. I'm not talking to anyone. I was just on a Bristol City podcast because there was a painful Bristol City game yesterday, and yesterday was a painful FPL day for me. Let's have a look. We'll have a look at the chat in a second. I want to vent to start the stream, okay, ladies and gents. I just want to have a little vent, make myself feel better. So, 19 points I'm on so far. Only one player actually returned for me out of 5 yesterday. That's obviously SAKA. 2 assists, 3 bonus. And he, of course, was not my captain. I've got Haaland as my captain. We'll see what Haaland can do today. 11 points is not exactly an insurmountable number of points for Haaland to get. So, yeah, I mean, is it outside the realms of possibility that Haaland could score more than 11 points against Crystal Palace? No, absolutely not. So I think we'll be okay. One player I did miss was Harry Wilson. There was just, for me, I have to make 2 transfers to get him into my team. There was no 2 ways about it. And I went for Raul Jimenez instead. What I'm quite glad about is pretty much everyone that asked for advice on the deadline stream yesterday in terms of what to do with their team. A lot of them had Minte in, and anyone really. I just said Harry Wilson is the best midfielder in the game that you don't have for the next 3 weeks. So despite not owning him myself, I can take solace from the fact that I think I helped, hopefully, a good fair few managers in getting Harry Wilson into their team. Or at least I told them to. It's up to them whether they did it or not. So that's the solace I can take. I helped. I didn't help myself, though. The Arsenal conceded goal at the end of that game was an absolute gut punch. I'm for a clean sheet up until the 90th minute. I've obviously got double Arsenal defence. A clean sheet probably would have benefited me. Obviously, Timber started the game, so that's a good thing in itself because he was obviously a flag. Oh, Wolves, man. They are just so annoying. They're just rubbish, aren't they? As a team, I don't think there's a lack of desire amongst their group or anything. They're just not good enough, are they? And they're going to go down as a result, unless they invest heavily in January, which I don't think they're going to do. And then we got Anderson, Raul Jimenez, both blanking. Well, Anderson got DEFCON, but they obviously conceded 2 goals, and he got a yellow card. I was frustrated with Anderson because Fulham just don't keep clean sheets, do they? I think we can pretty much safely say that they are not a safe clean sheet. Well, never were they ever a safe clean sheet defence, but I don't think you can ever really back Fulham to keep a clean sheet based on that game. Obviously, Harry Wilson was their star performer, and they've still got a couple of good fixtures coming up. You know, Raul Jimenez, I'm going to keep him in my team for a couple of more games, and then we'll look to move him on for someone else. Same with Anderson. You know, it's Forest in Forest and West Ham in the next 2. You can't get rid of them for that run of games, so they're sticking around until then. So I'm on, like I said, 19 points after SAKA, who's not my captain, with his 11 pointer, and obviously not owning Harry Wilson, who was one of the most popular, most bought players in the game last week. I went down 100,000 rank. It says 380k overall because when I look at Fantasy Premier League, it says I'm 380k overall. But then I look at Fantasy Football Hub and it says I'm 389k overall. So there's a bit of a discrepancy there. So I'm not lying about my rank being 380k, but some sources have it differently. So yeah. Yeah, mate, we hit 20k on the stream last week. Let's have a quick look at the chat then. So thank you everyone for joining. We've got 173 people in the stream at the moment. Let us know, how are you feeling after Game Week 16? Well, the first day of Game Week 16. I think I've shared with you my feelings. Lazy Ush, it's a couple of SAKA captainers in there. No one likes a gloater. Good to see you all. Andy, good to see you. Adam, good to see you, mate. My free hit was saved by Wolves. Oh, mate. Can't believe it. Yeah, if you had White and Miles Lewis-Skelly, mate, that is so unlucky. I think Lewis-Skelly missed well. He didn't keep a clean sheet, but if he did, he would have missed out on a clean sheet by 30 seconds, I think. SAKA, ole, oh god. At least I own him, right? I can't be too negative. At least I own him. I obviously don't have Harry Wilson, though. I think the real winners from yesterday are SAKA captaincies so far. And obviously Harry Wilson buyers, aren't they? Lalix, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, you're right about Fulham away from home. Oh, Alexandru with Wilson as his captain. We absolutely love that, mate. That is huge. That is huge. What else do we have? There was another member that joined. Freddie as well. That was it. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, should we go through the games? Let's have a look at the games. I've got a quiz as well, but we'll go through the games. There were only 4 yesterday. Chelsea beating Everton 2-0. I'm a little bit annoyed because I used 2 transfers. I did Iliman Ndiaye to Foden. Obviously, that hopefully will pay off. And I did Mateta to Raul Jimenez. Those were the 2 moves that I made. I still had 3 in the bank, and I was staring at Malik Chow in my team thinking, I should probably get rid of Malik Chow. And the 2 players I was looking at to get rid of him were Chalobah from Chelsea, who obviously kept a clean sheet against Everton and got DEFCON. I don't think... Did he get 2 bonus as well? Yeah, 9-pointer. I didn't buy him. The other player I would have bought was Van Dijk. I would have bought Van Dijk. So he only got 7 DEFCON, but kept a clean sheet for a 6-pointer. So both of the players that I would have bought for Chow would have scored points. And now I'm stuck with Chow in my team. He's got Sunderland away. Honestly, if Newcastle keep a clean sheet away at Sunderland, colour me shocked. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but hey-ho. That was the Chelsea. We were looking at the Chelsea fixture, weren't we? Everton, yeah, don't really care. The thing for me with Everton that interests me, if we can just get onto their fixtures, we'll use Pickford as the example. From game week 18 onwards, I think the Everton fixtures can be really nice. So that's from the 27th till February, basically, until March. I think the Everton fixtures are really good for that run of games. The only thing is, I can't really put my finger on an Everton player that I actually want in my team. Ndiaye was the only outfielder I'm really, really keen on. Like Michael Keane, he's going to be probably displaced by Branthwaite in no time at all. I think Branthwaite's going to be back in the team. I just not really keen on any of the Everton attackers, really. But the one Everton player I do quite like is Jordan Pickford, because I know he's 5.5 million, but he is just a goalkeeper that just every season is amongst the top scoring goalkeepers in the game. And I think Pickford, double Arsenal defence could be a way to play the game. You know, Pickford, 2 Arsenal defenders, Timber, Gabriel, maybe a Van Dijk. It's probably the way to play the game, isn't it? Anyway, we'll move on. Liverpool 2, Brighton 0. Liverpool starting to find a little bit of form. What's that? 2 clean sheets for them in the space of 7 days. Obviously kept one against Inter and then again against Brighton. Ekitike, couple of goals for him. What a player Ekitike is, man. I just think surely the board at Liverpool were just like, what the hell did we spend £130 million on getting? It was 130, wasn't it? Getting Alexander Isak when we've got this guy from Frankfurt that's playing better. I mean, Ekitike he's been wonderful, hasn't he? Of course, Dewsbury Hall. Yes, I completely forgot to mention him because he's injured. Yeah, he did his hamstring, so we'll see on Dewsbury Hall. I guess that the solace you have with Dewsbury Hall, we'll just look at the fixtures. It's Arsenal next anyway, so selling him or benching him for a week is not the end of the world. Yeah, Ekitike, Gomez, Salah obviously came off the bench, played 64 minutes, got the assist, but he's obviously off to AFCON. I guess maybe they've kissed and made up in some way, him and Slot. Sounds like they had a conversation anyway, which has meant that Salah made the bench. Bonus 3 for Ekitike, 2 for Konate, 1 for Alisson, Kirkez, and Salah got a bonus point as well. Defensive contributions, Konate got 16. Wirtz got 16. Gravenberch with 12. So he came away with a 5-pointer. Gravenberch's not doing too bad this season, to be fair. Curtis Jones, that's it. I think for me, the 2 players I'm most interested in at the moment, I'd say, from Liverpool are Ekitike, who still feels a little bit punty because he's going to continue to share minutes with Isak, isn't he? And Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk still looks like a decent pick. Even if he doesn't keep clean sheets, he's averaging over 10 defensive contributions per game. Tottenham away, Wolves at home, Leeds at home in the next 3. I think the fixtures are decent. I might even buy him next week ahead of playing Tottenham away, to be honest, for Chow. But yeah, fixtures looking decent for Van Dijk and Liverpool coming up, I think. Brighton, did Welbeck get benched in that game? I'm pretty sure Welbeck got benched in that game, didn't he? How many minutes did Welbeck play? He didn't even feature, didn't even get a defensive contribution. Minte would have been in a lot of teams. I think it was a fair week to bench him. To be honest, I can't exactly feel too positive about Minte. I just don't really rate him that much as an option. I think you can do better for around the price. I think, the traditional sort of defensive contribution midfielder will probably do better than him. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good point, mate. With Gakpo injured, Salah gone, Ekitike will start. I think it certainly helps his minutes, doesn't it? Oh, and then we have the Fulham 3, Burnley 2 game. Did anyone see, by the way, just speaking of Calvin Bassey, did anyone see his pushcast attempt? Ran pretty much, well, he didn't run the full length of the pitch, but he had a fantastic game. Oh, fantastic run. Took on a Burnley defender, took on a couple of Burnley defenders, and then his shot was very funny. Szoboszlai injured. Let's have a look. Let's check on Szoboszlai. I think with Szoboszlai, you're always running a tightrope anyway with the 4 yellow cards that he has. Let's have a look. It was his ankle. It didn't look great when I saw him, but he has unbelievable mentality, and let's just hope for the best. That's what Arnie Slot said. Oh, sorry. To be fair, that's quite a thing for Szoboszlai, isn't it? It's quite a thing for Liverpool having Szoboszlai injured. Let's see if FPL Physio has said anything. No, I haven't seen anything. Yeah, anyway, we'll move on. I don't have an update, I'm afraid, but obviously it doesn't look great for him. My heart dropped then, because that's something that somehow I missed out on this weekend. Because I was watching Bristol City at 3 p.m, I couldn't properly keep track of the 3 p.m. Premier League kickoffs. Burnley and Fulham. Yeah, painful one, wasn't it? For a non-Harry Wilson owner. Like I said, I think I feel like my job as an FPL YouTuber is to help people with their FPL teams, right? That's the most satisfying thing I can get out of the job, knowing that I've helped someone with their FPL team. And I think not owning Harry Wilson is painful, but I can take solace from a sense that I feel like we had 14,000 people tune into the deadline stream yesterday. And I reviewed probably 200 teams while we were on that stream. It's 4 hours long. I probably reviewed about 200 different FPL teams. And I'd say in 60-70% of them, I told them to buy Harry Wilson. So I did my job, I think. Even though my ranking, I've got a red arrow, my rank shit, I still think as an FPL YouTuber, I did my job. So yeah, I'll take solace from that. 2 assists and a goal for him, max bonus points. So he got, was it a 14-pointer? 16-pointer. Bloody hell, fair play. So that in his last 4 game weeks, 10, 8, 8, 16. Ridiculous level of returns. And he's got Forest at home, West Ham away in the next 2. So the fixtures continue. I'm always in a position where I look at my team next week and I'm thinking, do I bloody pick this guy? I actually have enough, to be fair. I could do pots to Harry Wilson, couldn't I? Oh, haha. I could do pots to Harry Wilson and bench Elliot Anderson. I could do that. And I could also buy Van Dijk as well if I wanted to. Tough to do that though with Gahey, Anderson and Timber. Oh, there you go. Worried about minutes. What with Harry Wilson? I think Harry Wilson's minutes are going to be fine. He got subbed. I think that was Marco Silva protecting his team from losing the game, because Burnley obviously they made a comeback. Bassey, Smith Rowe, what's his minutes been like? Oh, they've been a bit too hit and miss, haven't they? I'm bloody annoyed at Raul Jimenez though. I thought he'd do a lot better than he did. 0.01 expected goal involvement. Don't even want to talk about it. Anderson, 14 defensive contributions, but I think the one thing you can say about Fulham now, I've come to the conclusion that they're probably not reliable defensively at all. Like even in the top best fixtures, they're still not able to really keep clean sheets, are they? They might be really good for like expected goals conceded and stuff, but they just concede. They're leaky, aren't they? Burnley, nothing really to talk about on them. Hartman, he was 3.8. He's now 4. with a 4-pointer. Did Esteve get DEFCON? No, not much DEFCON for the Burnley players by the looks of it. Surely no one's picking Burnley players, are they? And then we have the Arsenal game. 2 assists for Saka, obviously 2 own goals for Wolves, which so no Arsenal player actually scored. There were two Wolves own goals, Mascara and Johnston. The Saka got 2 assists. The obvious talking point there is that first assist for Saka being a dubious one. It certainly was. I think, to be honest, I don't own it. Well, I own him, don't have him captain. I didn't want the assist to be awarded, but I thought it was the right thing to do it. They've changed the rules in FPL this season. And I think the intention is to, as long as the action of a player is part of the goal, leads up to the goal, then it's going to get given as an assist. And, you know, Saka deserved the assist, I think, for the first goal. And that's the conclusion that FPL came to. It was in the game, it was out the game, but FPL tweeted to say it was a Saka assist, and it was obviously given. But yeah, it was quite fun to see all that play out. So he ended up on an 11-pointer. So obviously getting 2 assists and the 3 bonus. Was he close to DEFCON? No, he only got 2. My justification for captaining Haaland over Saka was I just felt the returns amongst the Arsenal team feel quite spread out this season. You know, in previous years, Saka was just the main guy, wasn't he, for Arsenal, playing every single minute, and to be fair, to the point where Arteta was like flogging him into the ground. But with the reinforcements that they signed in the summer, particularly, well, Madueke and Eze, it just made me think that Saka was going to get less of a share. And also, you know, if they were comfortable in the game, could have gotten an early substitution. They obviously weren't comfortable in the game, so that early sub didn't pay off. But I think my logic is still solid, and I'm hoping that Haaland can outscore him. I think the final point from me is just about Wolves, aren't they? I feel a bit sorry for Wolves, to be honest. I just don't think they have the quality. Like, I don't think you can fault them for a lack of desire, really, in the game. They were in it for a good portion and obviously scored their goal, but it was just, you know, Arsenal having players off the bench. They're just not good enough, are they, Wolves? They just don't have the quality. Rob Edwards is doing his best, despite leaving Borough like a bit of a snaky move. But yeah, they just don't. They don't have it in them, do they? I think they're going to go down and continue to be probably the 20th best team in the league, I would say. So yeah, that's the results. That is the results. I'm just going to quickly go back to my team and read the chat. Hoping it'd be a Saka goal. Surprise goals. Yeah, Madueke didn't even come on, I agree. I think that just shows how desperate Arteta was to win the game, and he kept his main guy on for it. Saka wasn't involved in the game that much. I don't know. I thought he was quite involved in the game. Wolves are bad. They are prepping to go down. Yeah. Best long-term mids for next week. Check out my buy and avoid video, mate. It talks all about it. I'm not counting my chickens until Haaland game ends, yeah. What do we think Haaland could do against Crystal Palace? I mean, Saka captainers, we'll do the quiz in a second. Saka captainers, how do you feel right now about challenging Haaland captainers? Are you worried that Haaland can outscore him, or are you in a position where you feel pretty comfy and you're happy with your... I'm sure you're happy with 11 points, but do you think it's not enough? You know, what's your position? I'm intrigued. I think it was similar to the position I was in when it was a Haaland v Bruno week. I think Haaland got a double-digit haul, didn't he, against Fulham? But I was still worried that it wasn't enough. Happy with it? Bit thin? Okay. I think it's pretty decent, isn't it? It's an 11-pointer. Yeah, leggy Palace. Should be enough. Always worried when not captaining the big man. Saka captains feel good until Haaland scores in 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll see. The thing for me with Palace is they don't have Munoz, who I think is really important to their team. From an attacking point of view, I think he really moves the team up the pitch. And I think without him, they'll have to completely adapt their style. And also, the 3 centre-halves, Gahey, Richards and Lacroix, they all played on Thursday night in Ireland. So I know it's not a big distance to travel or anything, but they played on Thursday, and it adds to the Palace being leggy argument, doesn't it, I think? Haven't seen any news on Mateta, mate. We'll just have to see how he if he gets in the game. All right, before we do the quiz, I've got the quiz. Before we do, I just wanted to quickly mention the FPL Cartel. We've got 470 people watching, so I thought it'd be a good time to do a little plug for the joint project I'm doing with my mate, FPL Tom. I think there are a fair few people in this chat that are part of the cartel, so let us know in the chat if you're part of it and if you're enjoying it. It's an exclusive Discord, basically, multiple different channels and chat rooms. Both me and Tom are in there to give you advice on your FPL team, and we're also doing an exclusive weekly podcast together as part of the cartel. It is a paid thing, but we are doing a first 30-day free trial, so you can sign up without paying a penny, see what you like, see if you like it, and then you can continue your subscription full time from there if you like it. But yeah, there's a link in the description to join the cartel. All right, thanks for listening to my advert. The quiz then, ladies and gentlemen, the quiz. I was a little bit rushed this morning, so the questions might be similar to the questions that you would have had on the last quiz, but I still thought I'd do a quiz anyway. So the first question is, who is the top scoring player this game week so far? And I have to quickly respond to a tweet about Bristol City. So while I do this... Sorry, we're done. Whoa, loads of answers. Bloody hell. The chat is absolutely popping. A few answers for Wilson, a few answers for Gusto. It is Malu Gusto. He scored 18 points. One day there will be a John Terry answer to one of these questions. He's not an answer this week. I always think about John Terry when I put the quiz together, but it was Gusto. So well done, everyone that said Gusto. Next question. Who, ladies and gentlemen, is that? By the way, if you haven't already, please leave a like rating on the stream if you're enjoying it. I haven't asked that yet. But yeah, please leave a like rating on the stream. YouTube have changed, so I can't see how many likes we have. 55 likes, 400 people watching. Bloody hell. Thank you, everyone. Leave a like rating on the stream if you're enjoying it. By the way, I will say, all of the answers to these silhouette questions are relevant players for this week, I would say. The answer is Harry Wilson. So well done, everyone that said Harry Wilson. It was indeed Harry Wilson. The next question. Going into Game Week 16 then, there were, I'm just going to say before we reveal the answer, there were 24.5 million transfers made in FPL, the single most there has ever been in an FPL game week this season. But who was the most transferred in player? Who was the most transferred in player? Oh, loads of answers. John Terry's an answer for every question. That's quite funny. The answer is Phil Foden. There you go. Phil Foden last for Game Week 16. For this week, Harry Wilson has already had 192,000 transfers in. Ekitike, 140k. Foden and Gahey. 50,000 people have bought Mark Gahey before he's even played. Same with Foden. Top transfers out being Mbumo, Munoz, and Jai and Mateta this week so far. And obviously Gusto with his 18-pointer. All right, just got to make sure I go through the questions properly. That's Harry Wilson. Right, next question. Who is this? Right. The answer, thanks everyone for guessing. I think quite a lot of people got this one right. It is Calvin Bassey. So well done, everyone that said Calvin Bassey. Next question. This is to see if what time of the stream that you joined and how observant you've been. But how many points have I scored so far in Game Week 16? How many points am I on? Yeah, the chat's going crazy this morning. Thank you everyone for joining the stream. I hope you're enjoying it. It's good use. Hopefully it's a good expenditure of your time on a Sunday morning to have a vent. Be reminded of what's happened in the FPL game week. I will reveal the answer. Let me go on my point screen. The answer is 19 points. I am on 19 points. So well done everyone that said 19. Let me know. There were 5 quiz questions there. Let me know how many you got out of 5. There's no prize. The prize is taking part and enjoying yourself while taking part in the quiz. So yeah. There it is. 19 points so far. Lallet's got 5 out of 5. Well done, bro. Nixie, 5 out of 5. Love that. Can you get a half point? Can we give you a half point? I'm not sure that's allowed. Get VAR on that for the half point. I didn't have too much else to go through, really. That's kind of what I do. I talk about my team, have a little bit of event, bit of chat with you guys in the chat. We go through the fixtures, how they all played out, players you want to buy, etc., etc. And then we do the quiz. That's how we do a Sunday morning FPL reaction stream. But yeah, I'm here. I'll stay for another 5 minutes, and we'll end it on half an hour. How about that? What to do with Timber, Minte and Welbeck? They all blanked last 4 game weeks. Please respond. I think I'd keep them all. Minte, if you really want to, could become Harry Wilson, but the rest of them, I'd probably look to keep, really. If you don't have Thiago, I would do Welbeck to Thiago from Brentford. But quite honestly, I think Timber's going to be fine. It's really hard, isn't it? Because do people still think that Arsenal are the best defence in the league? I personally do. So I can't bring myself to honestly tell people to sell Timber. I can't do it, I'm afraid. Best Munoz and Mbeumo replacements, I'd buy Harry Wilson for a couple of weeks, and I think the best Munoz replacement could be Van Dijk. To be honest, if you don't have Van Dijk, it could be Timber. If you don't have Timber, be one of those two, I reckon. Or just go for a cheaper defender, someone like Gahey. Arsenal fixture, I just not worried about the Arsenal fit. I just think they're the best defence in the league. It's my opinion. I'm just going to stick with them. Best 3 forwards. I think it's 2, really. I can't really name you the best 3 forwards. I think it's Haaland and Thiago. And then the best team in FPL is probably a 3-5-2. I went for Raul Jimenez on a little bit of a punt. I would say, for a couple of weeks. Because getting in Harry Wilson involved using 2 transfers. Well, Gahey isn't cheap, but he's cheaper than Munoz. Like, there's no way that you can't afford to do Munoz to Gahey. That's not a thing, if it's only in one move. It's playing 4-5, yeah, 4-5-1, there you go. 2 gunners attack. Yeah, that's another question I'll put to you before the end of the stream. What is currently the best Arsenal triple up in the game? How did my score predictions go? Let's have a goosey. So this is obviously Chelsea 2, Everton 0. You got that right. Liverpool 3, West... We got all the results right. Well, that's not too bad going, is it, really? It's not too bad. I don't know why I put Man City 2, Crystal Palace 2, really. I think my predictions changed because I want more out of Haaland now. I think those are some pretty decent predictions, to be honest. Although I would say the expected team won every game, didn't they? So it's not exactly hard to predict. They're not bad predictions, though, are they? They're not bad predictions. We'll take that. All right, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we will end it there. I have to now go back home. I say I have to. I'm going back home to have dinner with my bit of lunch with my family, a Sunday tradition. So I'm going to go and do that. And then while I'm there, I will make the graphics for my video tonight. And then we'll do an ultimate guide video coming out tonight to help you all with your teams and transfers. And then Monday morning on Monday I'll have my transfer plans coming out where I talk about my team, how it got on and what my plans are. But we obviously need today's games to finish before I do that. So I hope everyone enjoys their Sunday. And I really hope that Haaland does something, ladies and gentlemen. I need a Haaland mega haul, I think, to really help my game week. So, yeah, I wish everyone the best. Although if you're a SAKA captainer, I sort of don't, because I want Haaland to do well. All right. See you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. And leave a like, rating, and subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. That's all I ask. It's all free. Leave a like, subscribe. See you in a bit.